Hi Liz, thanks for sending this in, your first essay correction. My name's Andrew. I work at IELTSpodcast.com here with Ben and the others. What we do with these single corrections is try to give you some general advice regarding the mark scheme, a little bit about flow, structure. Now, it's nice to see that you've already got your structure laid out. I'll have a read through, and I'll give you a small amount of advice in about 7 to 10 minutes regarding how to improve. But I must say that significant improvement to scores requires repetition. So if you would like to receive further corrections from us here, returned within 24 hours each time, you can sign up to our course that is listed in the email in which this video was contained. But first of all, let's power through. So some people suppose that language understanding is mostly based on vocabulary acknowledgement, which is estimated as a trigger of a language improvement. So this is very long. Topic sentences should be general. They should describe the area that the essay is talking about, and then the next sentence should be a little more specific. We're always taking baby steps with academic essays. We want to make sure that our ideas get across accurately. And so we take our time, but at the same time we use as few words as possible to say the idea well. So I would say that this is because to acknowledge something is just to accept that it exists, to make a gesture that something exists. So I'd say that actually there we should use acquisition, the acquisition of vocabulary. So we want to talk about whether the acquisition of vocabulary expands understanding of language or not. There is also an alternative position that claims that more close to real life skills, or true to life, close to life, like oral communication with a native speaker, for instance, the article, would be better to achieve that goal. Cool. A higher level of vocabulary, I would say. A higher, because we're talking about it's higher than other people's levels of vocabulary, and it's the indefinite article a. A higher level of vocabulary allows people to understand each other easily, to easily understand each other, or to easily understand each word in a sentence, or don't expand unnecessarily. So a higher level of vocabulary, or a wider range of vocabulary, allows a person to comprehend what they hear or read. That's enough. And then we need to expand this idea. You need to explain how, and then give an example that supports that. You say, for example, somebody with a low vocabulary reading a publication like New Scientist would struggle to comprehend the full story, as they cannot recognize the majority of the words. So an example should support your statement, and then at the end, after your example, you give a thus or a therefore to explain the whole paragraph, to bring it all together. That way, you introduce the topic of your idea, you expand into that idea with your thoughts, you then give an example that justifies why you did that, and then you explain it all fully to say what it means, and that is a convincing idea. The phrase here, by the way, is on the contrary. Sometimes a person may face a linguistic case when context highly depends on the specific real life situation. See, again, it's quite long. I would say, on the contrary, it is perfectly plausible that a person may encounter a case that requires only a decent amount of practice, let's say. Because practical communication skills, we need to be more specific than that. What is a practical communication skill? A communication skill that can get stuff done? One of the most important things in academic essays is to be as precise as possible. on a knife edge. We want to make sure that we are razor sharp in our statements. So you want to make the argument that it's not just vocabulary knowledge, but a deeper understanding that gives an ability to communicate well. That's what translates into fluency, because it results in style, flexibility, precision. I would say the difficulty with this method is finding a dedicated partner, or finding a partner as dedicated as you are. Compare the two. Finding a partner as dedicated as you are is difficult in language learning. Unfortunately, in many countries like Russia, it becomes a real challenge to do that. And what results? So we could say, thus, in many countries, especially Russia, it becomes a real challenge to achieve results. The effect being a partial reduction in language ability. It does cause real harm, doesn't it? If you can't find an adequate partner to discuss things with, you are likely to struggle. Correct. To sum up, I also stress on my personal experience in that case. So when you write conclusions and intros that require your opinion, try to keep it as depersonalized as possible. So it's fine to say, I personally believe that, but we don't want to be talking about, I also stress my personal experience. As for me, we really only need to be referring to ourselves just the once. But my number one tips for you would be to reduce the length of your sentences, to use some more punctuation, to break up the clauses in your sentences, and to keep some structure to your paragraphs. I mean, this is all covered in the course. If you would like to take us up on that, it is in the email. In which case, we would be able to send you regular vocabulary assistance as well. And Ben has let me know that if you sign up to the course within the next 24 hours, he will actually upgrade you to the speaking practice part of the course completely for free. I do hope to see some of your work coming in again soon. Well done for getting these in. I'll speak to you again later. Bye bye now.